First is MySQLi connect function. The PHP MySQLi connect function is used to connect a MySQL database server. General syntax for MySQLi connect is db handle equal to MySQL connect, the server name, username and password, where db handle is a database connection resource variable. MySQLi connect is the function for PHP database connection. Server name is the name or IP address of the server hosting MySQL server. Username is a valid username in MySQL server. And password is a valid password associated with a username in MySQL server. Next is MySQLi select db function. This function is used to select a database. General syntax for MySQLi select db is MySQLi select db, then db handle, database name and link identifier, where MySQLi select db is the database selection function that returns either true or false. db handle is the database connection. Database name is the name of the database. And link identifier is optional, which is used to pass the server connection link. Next is MySQLi query function. MySQLi query function is used to execute SQL queries. This function can be used to execute following queries: insert, select, update and delete. General syntax for MySQLi query function is MySQLi query, db handle, that is the connection, and the query string. Here db handle is the database connection. MySQLi query is the function that executes the SQL queries, and query is the SQL query to be executed. Here also you can give the link identifier, which is optional, which can be used to pass the server connection link. Next is MySQLi num rows. This function is used to get the number of rows returned from a select query. General syntax is MySQLi num rows and the result, where MySQLi num rows is the row count function and result is the MySQLi query result set. Next is MySQLi fetch array function. This function is used to fetch row arrays from a query result set. General syntax for fetch array function is MySQLi fetch array and the result, where MySQLi fetch array is the function for fetching the row array and result is the result returned by the MySQLi query function. Next is MySQLi close function. MySQLi close function is used to close an open database connection. General syntax is MySQLi close and db handle, where MySQLi close is the PHP function and db handle is the database connection. The exit function in PHP is an inbuilt function which is used to output a message and terminate the current script. The shutdown functions and object destructors will always be executed even if exit function is called. Exit function is an alias of a die function. General syntax for exit function is exit and the message, where exit is a PHP function and message is a mandatory parameter which specifies the message or status number to write before exiting the script. Next is die function. Die function is also an inbuilt function which is used to print message and exit from the current PHP script. It is equivalent to exit function. General syntax is die and message, where die is a function and message is a message or status number which will be printed before terminating the script. Next is sleep function. Sleep is also an inbuilt function which is used to delay the execution of the program for a given amount of seconds. General syntax is print integer sleep and the time in seconds, where sleep is the PHP function and seconds is a parameter which represents the delay time in seconds. Next is include function. Include function is used to copy all the contents of a file called within the function text-wise into a file from which it is called. This happens before the server executes the code. Including file is very useful when you want to include the same PHP, HTML or text on a multiple pages of a website. General syntax is include and file name, where include is a PHP function and file name is the name of the file. The include statement will generate a PHP warning but allow script execution to continue if the file to be included can't be found. Next is require function. The require function is also used to put data of one PHP file to another PHP file. If there are any errors, then require function produces a warning and an error. General syntax is require and file name, where require is a PHP function and file name is the name of the file. The require statement will generate an error and stops the script execution if the file included is not found.